Hey everybody! So tonight I'd like to talk to you about taking a song that you already know how to play and playing in a different key. And you might think, well, why do I need to be able to take a song I know and play in a different key? Well, it could be a couple of reasons. One is you could be like me right now with a sore throat and not able to sing any high notes. And the song like You Are My Sunshine, which is what we're going to work with today. If you're playing in G, how I first learned it, you either got to sing in pretty low, and it's a little bit too low for me naturally, or high in a range that might be out of my reach, but on a good day, but on a day like today, it's just not going to happen. Or you could, so that could be one reason, to move it into a key that works better for your voice. Or it could also be that you're playing with friends or a jam circle, and they're called for the song, and you know it, but they've called for it in a different key. And I want to let you learn how that's not, it doesn't have to be such an intimidating thing, and how, you don't even need a capo to do it. A capo is, if I was going to take You Are My Sunshine and play an A, I would just put a capo in. We haven't talked about the fifth string yet. But they called for D when I was playing with friends, and so putting it in the key of D, I don't want to use a capo for that. I don't like the sound of it. I don't have any fretboard left. So we're going to learn how you can do it without retuning and without using a capo to transpose your song, and how when you're talking about a 3-chord folk song, it's not that intimidating, not that hard, once you learn the basics. So let's start off with You Are My Sunshine in G, and I don't think I'm going to even try to sing and embarrass myself today in G, so I'll just play it. But then I'll try to sing for D. So that's You Are My Sunshine in G. Let's give it a try in D, and then I'll talk about how we make that change. The only thing I do need to change, I did say we're not going to retune, but the only thing you might find yourself needing to retune is your 5th string, because a G isn't going to sound well as your 5th string coming off a D chord, or with G as your 1 chord. So either you need to retune it up to an A, or use a, if you have a real spike, to move it to an A, or a 5th string capo. Or I often just keep this little big pen cap that's cut off on the bottom. If I don't want to, do a retune for the A string, I just slide it under. And here we go. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy, skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. So, what went on in making that song go from the key of G to the key of D? What do you need to know in order to make that change and to make it on the spot? Well, what you need to do is you need to break down the chord progression of your song. And first, just find what are the chords I'm playing for the song. So if we'll go back to G, which we're probably most comfortable with, particularly for this song, and say, You are my sunshine. No, I'm gonna have to sing it in G. Sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy. Now we're in C. When skies are gray, you'll never know, dear C, how much I love you, G. Please don't take my sunshine away. And that was a D7. That's not how I usually sing that song, but I'm not going to try to sing it high. So what was that chord progression there? Well, we have to stop thinking it in order to transpose it as G, C, and D. We should start thinking of it as 1, 4, and 5. So if you're playing in the key of G, your 1 chord is your G. Your 4 chord is your C. And your 5 chord is your D or your D7. I played a D7 because after you play the D, you go back to a G. And that's what is basically your 5 to your 1. We'll talk what that means. And it just sounds a little bit better, a little bit more of a resolution. The 5, it wants to go back to a 1. It's like a little bit of relief. As opposed to, that was, if you're not playing a 5-7, you're just doing the standard 5 chord like a D. You don't feel that need as much to go back to the G. So what are these numbers that we're throwing out here? Well, in the key of G, you got G as your 1 chord, number 1. And if you follow the way the keys are on a piano, G, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G, A, B, C, D. So let's try singing You Are My Sunshine, just calling out the, in G, calling out the chord progression as 1, 4, and 5, and not as G, C, and D. You are my, and I'll just do a basic bum to D strum. Sunshine. This is 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1. 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1. So we just walked through that progression. 1 to 4, 1. Let's try that now in the key of D. Well, what do? We pop back on that pen cap, or we retune it back up to an A. We'll put on your capo or use your rail spike, and now we're back to the 5th string being ready. And we do the same song, just calling out the same chord progression. Well, this time, a D is your 1. So what's your 4 going to be? Take a second, see if you can tell it. D, E, F, G. It was a G. Your 5th, A. D, G, A. 1, 4, 5. So let's try. And we'll just do a basic, bum diddy strum. You are my sun, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1. So what was that? It was D, 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 G, 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 D, 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 G, 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 D, 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 A, D. And it was the same chord progression. You might notice I played G. I wasn't playing an open strum for G. I just moved up to the, well, higher G chord. And what is this chord here? Well, that's just your F chord. Moved up a full step, so you're at G. What's your A chord? It's your open G. Full step up to A. Now, I did not play A7 because I'd have to put my pinky on the 5th fret. And I just, find it easier just to be a little lazy. Just do an A when I play this in the key of D. A D7 is just a much simpler chord to make. So there you have it. Take a song that you know how to play, start breaking down the chord progression numerically, and see if you can try transposing it and playing in a different key without using a capo.